All right, whenever you are ready.
Okay, so we're going to be debating the topic about the U.S. and wind power. Our policy is that the U.S. should substantially increase its current incentives to increase the commitment to wind energy. A little bit background on wind turbines. Wind power as an alternative to fossil fuels, it's plentiful, renewable, it's widely distributed, clean, produces no greenhouse gases during operation. The effects on the environment are generally less problematic than those from other power sources. Currently, 83 countries around the world are using wind power on a commercial basis. In 2010, wind energy production was over 2.5% of total worldwide electricity usage, and it was growing rapidly in more than 25% per annum. The monetary cost per unit of energy produced is similar to the cost for new coal and natural gas installations. The most common form of wind power is wind turbines, and these are often located in rural areas, and they're connected to grid lines. The energy is then transferred through the grid lines to more populated areas. So our claim of significance is that alternative energy such as wind energy has the potential to solve growing fuel prices. Claim of inherency is that the existing incentives do not offer enough motivation for large corporations and homeowners. Claim of solvency is Germany and Denmark have substantially increased their incentives for wind energy, and in turn have seen increases in their wind energy production. Our plan of action is we would increase the current incentives to 3.0 cents per kilowatt hour for large corporations and 40% tax credit for small businesses and homeowners. So back to our significance claim that alternative energy such as wind energy has the potential to solve the growing fossil fuel prices. So fossil fuels are not replaceable, they are exhausting, and we are currently depleting them at vast bases. According to the World Wildlife Fund, we're now emitting carbon dioxide at an ever-increasing rate. 80% of the carbon dioxide emissions that heat up our planet come from the burning of fossil fuels. But reusable, sustainable energy like wind turbines can be a solution to this. The California Wind Energy Association states that wind energy produces electricity without emitting any pollutants or greenhouse gases at all. It requires no mining or drilling, helps preserve habitat and open space, and poses no national security threats. According to BraveNewClimate.com, new analysis show that wind plants further reduce emissions by forcing the most polluting and inflexible power plants offline and causing them to be replaced by more efficient and flexible types of generation. So by increasing the wind turbine plants, you allow for the decreased use of other types of energy production that are more dependent on fossil fuels. So to our inherency claim, that existing incentives do not offer enough motivations for large corporations or homeowners. Currently, the only incentives the United States offer are the Federal Business Energy Investment Tax Credit, the ITC. This allows owners of small wind turbines, which are about 100 kilowatts or less, to receive tax credits for 30% of the value of the facility. Large businesses are eligible to receive 2.2 cents per kilowatt hour. And according to the Bush U.S. Department of Energy, they want to be at 20% of our wind turbine energy by 2030. According to the Bush Department, wind can play a major role in meeting America's increasing demand for electricity while supporting 500,000 American jobs. Having 20% of the nation's electricity come from wind power is feasible with today's technology, the report found, but the right policies will you need to enable the industry to grow rapidly. So you need the right policies to increase wind power in the United States. And according to the American Wind Energy Association, that incentives in the U.S. today are less than half of the incentive amounts that are being offered in the leading European countries like Germany and Denmark, which have about 20% of their power coming from wind. That leads into our solvency claim that Germany and Denmark have substantially increased their incentives for wind energy and in turn have seen increases in their wind energy production. Denmark is one of the most aggressive pursuers of wind energy and has several decades of experience with wind power since the 1970s, and over a geographical area of buildable land a little bit bigger than Massachusetts, they have over 35,200 wind turbines, and this generates about 20% of their electricity. According to a paper, A Brief Review of Wind Power in Denmark, Germany, Sweden, Vermont, and Maine, part of the reason wind power has been so successful in Denmark is the incentives. So a couple of their incentives they offer, community members receive a number of direct benefits. This includes receiving electricity directly from the wind turbines, receiving or having opportunities to purchase shares of nearby wind projects, being compensated for loss of property value if their homes are close by, and resources to support community-owned wind power associations. So if we look at what the incentives are offered in Germany and Denmark, they have their wind power about 20%, which is what the U.S. wants to be at. So we should be near or close to their incentives that they offer if we want our wind power to be at 20%. So our plan of action, we would increase the current incentives in the United States. As stated before, the current incentives in the United States only offers 2.2 cents per kilowatt hour for large corporations and a 30% tax credit for small corporations or homeowners. Our plan of action states that these should be comparable to what the leading European countries like Germany and Denmark offer. To start, we would increase the tax incentives to 3.0 cents per kilowatt hour for large corporations and increase the tax incentives for small industries and homeowners to 40%. It should create a bigger drive to convert for wind power, as well as more accessibility and more feasibility for small homeowners and small corporations to convert to wind power.